6 a.m. and developing right now on Denver7 News. The hits keep coming for Aurora police. An officer is fired for having alcohol in his system while on the job.
I'm Denver7's Micah Smith, and on Aurora Police Chief Vanessa Wilson's very first day, she fired an officer, and she's also talking about plans for policy changes.
High school sports are coming back this year.
You've been hoping for so long that we just get to go play in the fall like we plan on.
But the format will be unlike anything we've seen.
It's not as what we hoped for, but we have an opportunity to play, which is what I guess all we can ask for.
Plus, a confrontation caught on camera when an Uber passenger takes off her mask and starts coughing.
You know, in this day and age, you should probably have a mask.
A twist of fate and a little bit of luck makes a little girl's dream come true.
I wrote that I wish that I had a pet pony.
And a very special connection there. Good Wednesday morning to you. Thanks for waking up with us. I'm Brian Sanders.
And I'm Molly Hendrickson. We want to get right out to Lisa Hidalgo for our Denver7 forecast. And Lisa, you're tracking more storms this afternoon.
Yesterday was pretty bumpy, not necessarily right here in Denver, but north and east of town, closer to spots like Greeley. A lot of reports through Will County. We'll talk more about that coming up. This morning, though, as you step out the door, relative humidity is at 70%. The atmosphere is going to be a little more juicy, and so we're going to see more unstable conditions this afternoon. Low 60s for the most part in most neighborhoods. Denver right now at 62. We're going to be in the low 70s by 9 o'clock, and then upper 80s to again near 90 this afternoon. So it is going to be a warm day today. We've got Denver at 90, Castle Rock mid-80s, Boulder 84, and 70s and 80s for the mountains and foothills. More storms popping up today. I'm going to take you through our Futurecast hour by hour and show you how this is all going to stack up this afternoon and the timing for us here in town. Large hail up to 2 inches in diameter, Jason, will likely be one of the biggest threats again today.
Right now, it looks pretty nice on the roadways. I'm not seeing any major problems, which is the way to start off this Wednesday morning commute. Take a look at I-70 out to the east or the west side of town. The eastbound side is where we had some of the work going on the overnight hours. You can actually see the remnants of some of that work in that left lane. Those are the folks that are heading east. The headlights, they are going towards Wadsworth right now. Take a look at the drive at Federal and Hamden. We're looking north, and there is a crash right after the crest of the hill here at Dartmouth and Federal, but I'm not seeing any significant delays, which is good news. Down through the Denver Tech Center, wide open for us for the most part. 225 looking great, I-70 looking great, and just starting to see more traffic on 270 and I-76, looking at about 10 minutes on that eastbound side, passing the refineries right now.
Newly appointed Aurora Police Chief Vanessa Wilson has wasted no time making her mark on the department. On her first full day on the job, Chief Wilson fired an officer for having alcohol in his system at work. Denver7's Micah Smith is live with details on the case. And Micah, Chief Wilson is trying to clean up ongoing problems within the department.
Molly, Chief Wilson says one of her main goals as chief is rebuilding trust within the community, and that includes holding her officers accountable. So on her first day, she fired Officer Javen Harper, an 18-year veteran, for an incident that happened 10 months ago. On October 16th, 2019, Harper was scheduled to teach a radar class, but he called to cancel, telling a sergeant his wife left him. The next day, when Harper reported to work, a supervisor smelled, quote, the odor of an alcoholic beverage on him. A breathalyzer test showed a blood alcohol content level of 0.059. 2 hours later, a blood test revealed his BAC was 0.035. Ironically enough, this is video we have of Harper after officers narrowly avoided being hit by a suspected drunk driver. The Internal Affairs Bureau and an independent review board found Harper violated 3 department rules. On Aurora Police Chief Vanessa Wilson's first day, she terminated Harper. Wilson says this is a part of her plan to again rebuild trust in the community, and Aurora Mayor Mike Kaufman says he believes Wilson will do just that.
The fact is, we've been able to review her performance. She is not afraid to make the tough decisions, and I believe that she's the person that can move this department forward.
But Wilson still faces criticism from the community for being the leader of a department during this turbulent time when several incidents involving APD has gained national attention, including handcuffing kids just this past weekend. We'll have an update on her response to that incident coming up at 6:30. But for now, reporting live, Micah Smith, Denver7.
Micah, thank you. And Officer Harper has been on the force since 2002 and was assigned to the Traffic Bureau. He is the 5th Aurora officer involved in an alcohol-related incident over the past year. We have details and a timeline of these other incidents on thedenverchannel.com.
Governor Polis says he is increasing outreach to Colorado's Latino communities, who the CDC says are twice as likely to be hospitalized for COVID-19 than white communities. He's doing so by hosting town halls in Spanish on Univision. Governor Polis says we need to stay persistent on mask wearing and social distancing in Colorado.
The way that you've lived the last week, the last 2 weeks, that's what we have to have inside of us for the long haul. That's how we have to live for the next few months.
So 426 cases of the coronavirus were reported in Colorado yesterday, 250 the day before, but it wasn't long ago 600 was the norm. 340 hospital beds are in use by COVID patients. That's about the standard these days, but it's also well below the capacity we saw at the height of the pandemic back in April.
This next story is just disturbing. This is not how you should act in public during the pandemic, or really ever. 2 women are caught on camera fighting at Walmart over social distancing. We had to turn down the video because of the bad language, but you can hear the woman recording the video say it didn't seem like one of the women was standing 6 feet away. No word from police on whether either was ticketed or arrested. Awful. An Uber driver had to kick a passenger out of his car after this dash cam video shows the passenger coughing and then taking off her mask there in the back. The driver says she then told him she has COVID-19.
Her lack of caring for another person is costing me my livelihood, as well as potentially getting sick or possibly worse.
We chatted with Uber about this incident. They say drivers have the right to cancel a trip when they don't feel comfortable. They say they'll also deny access to a rider if they repeatedly violate the mask policy.
High school sports will return this school year in Colorado, but there are big changes to the order of the seasons and the formats. Sports will be lumped into 4 groups and played throughout the year. Denver7's Nicole Brady is live this morning. And Nicole, not everyone happy with these changes, but at least they are getting some playing time.
Yeah, some good news there, but we will not see the Friday night lights this fall, Brian, at stadiums like this one. Football will be a spring sport this year, along with many other contact sports that CHSAA said just could not be played safely under the current health guidelines. So all high school athletics, as you said, will be broken up into 4 different seasons this year, A, B, C, and D seasons, with the latest season ending not until late June of next year. The first sports to resume will be boys golf, softball, boys tennis, and cross country. They will all take place this fall as originally scheduled. Again, those are not as heavy contact sports. Other sports will also be played next spring, though. Football, girls volleyball, boys soccer, field hockey, and some others. They'll all have shortened 2-month-long seasons. There will also be a nearly 3-month moratorium on high school sports and activities from October 18th till January 3rd this year, because the state is predicting a resurgence of COVID-19 cases in the fall and winter. Some coaches are concerned about how this could derail student athletes' plans for college.
There's a lot of kids who are losing more than just football games, more than just scholarship opportunities. It's potentially resources that will change their future.
Yeah, I was planning on going and playing to college. I'm talking to a couple schools. And
now you can see the full high school athletic schedule on our website, thedenverchannel.com. Now, all sports could still see disruptions throughout the year if there is a case of the virus within a school or within a team. Nicole Brady, Denver7.
Other extracurriculars suffering too. Right now, lawmakers are working to have the next stimulus relief package by the end of the week. That's according to Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin. As Democrats and Republicans try to work out a deal on what that package will include, Democrats have asked for an additional $300 billion for schools. That is 3 times more than the amount they initially wanted back in May. Of course, millions of Americans are wondering if the deal will include an extension for the extra $600 in weekly unemployment benefits. Today, several groups in Denver will be hosting a rally pushing for that extra $600. Protesters plan to meet outside the Denver Federal Building at noon today.